friends, it's Lisa, and welcome to week 3 for the Magical Readathon. We are slowly but surely making our way through the month. I feel like this month is going by very quickly. We are now officially past the halfway point of the month, past the halfway point of this readathon, so I'm hoping that I can finish my TBR in the next couple of weeks. I definitely think I'll be able to, at least for the readathon. I do have other things I want to read this month, but for the readathon, I think I'm in good shape. We have 2 weeks left. I have 2 things left to read, so I think we will be able to do that. But with 2 prompts left, I think this week I'm going to prioritize the Psionics and Divination class. And the prompt for that is to read a book with clouds on the cover or in the title. So for this, I'm going to read The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I also keep almost calling this book Mile High, which is the first book in the series. So if I accidentally call it that throughout any point in this vlog, I apologize, but I'm reading The Right Move. But yes, like I said, this is the second book in this series. I think it's called the Windy City series. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is the second one, and I think there's a third one coming out later this year, so I'm hoping to get caught up on this series. And this one in particular, you're following Ryan and Indy, and Ryan is the brother to the main character from Mile High, the first book in the series, Stevie. He is her brother, he's a professional basketball player, and we have Indy, who is Stevie's best friend, and needs a place to stay, so I think she ends up moving in with Ryan. So Ryan and Indy are now roommates, which I can't help but say, oh my god, they were roommates. But I don't think they're very happy about this arrangement. However, I do think they somehow enter this like fake dating situation. I think because Ryan is a professional basketball player, and for his like reputation, he's trying to be more like, trying to seem more approachable, and so then he ends up with this like fake dating relationship with Indy. I don't know. I just see fake dating and I'm like, okay, sign me up. So yeah, I'm excited to pick this up. I did enjoy the first one in the series. I did like Mile High. I didn't like absolutely love it, but I had a good time with it, and I feel like I have seen people that like The Right Move more than Mile High, so I'm hopeful that I will feel the same. Again, it has fake dating, which is one of my favorite tropes when done well, so I'm really excited to read it and see how I feel, and I think that is going to be the reading plans for this week. Even though I think it is like over 500 pages, which is a pretty long romance book. However, I think I'll be able to read it quickly, especially on my Kindle. I feel like I read on my Kindle very quickly, so yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem getting through that this week. Except I did start a rewatch of Stranger Things last night, so that could distract me from reading. Listen, this is not a cry for help. I just love Stranger Things, and it was missing Steve Harrington hours, so I was like, you know what? Why don't we start it from the beginning? Am I right? So that could derail the reading plans for this week, but I'm gonna still try to finish The Right Move. But yeah, those are kind of the main reading plans for the Magical Readathon. I do think that I'm gonna have some other things that I might pick up this week reading wise that aren't for the Magical Readathon, so I can share those with you. I also feel like I might start an audiobook at some point this week because I'm planning on setting up my bullet journal for May at some point this week. I don't quite know what theme I'm going with. I have an idea, but I just haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it. So I might be filming that this week, and if I do, I might want to put on an audiobook while I do that. So we'll just see what else I end up reading, but The Right Move is definitely the plan for the Magical Readathon, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how much Stranger Things distracts me. Well, howdy, folks. What's poppin'? I wanted to pop in and give some initial thoughts on The Right Move by Liz Tomford, which is my next book for the Magical Readathon. I am 20% of the way through the book. So I started it last night and I'm already 20% of the way through. So I think this is going to go pretty quickly. But like I was saying in the intro of this vlog, in this book you're following Ryan and Indy. Ryan is a professional basketball player and Indy is a flight attendant. And Indy has kind of had this traumatic thing happen with her and her ex, and now she has no place to stay. And Stevie, who is Ryan's sister and Indy's best friend, is like, hey, Ryan has a spot available in his apartment. Why don't you move in with him? And she manages to convince both of them for that arrangement to work out. So now the two of them are very like reluctant roommates. And Ryan also, like I said, he is a professional basketball player. He is like super well known, super famous, and he's also the captain of his team. But the general manager is like, not too sure about him being the captain. He's like, I don't know, you live a very solitary life. You literally only talk to your teammates and your sister. And I just don't know if that's someone that's like fit to lead a bunch of people. And they somehow start talking about like his lack of a love life and him not being in any relationships. And instead of Ryan just being like, yeah, I'll work on my leadership skills, he's like, no, I actually have a girlfriend. So now he's lied about having a girlfriend. And so there's this like event, gala, charity event thing, I think that's happening. And now he needs to bring a fake date to this event. So he asks Indy to be his fake date, and he in return offers to be her fake date to a wedding. Because we also have Indy, who is a bridesmaid in this wedding for this girl that she has grown up with. All of like the whole wedding party is this big group of friends that have grown up together, and Indy's ex is a part of that group of friends, and she knows that he's going to be bringing a +1, and she like is looking for someone to bring herself. So the two of them kind of make this deal where she will be his fake girlfriend for this event and he will be her fake date to this wedding. And I'm really excited to keep going. I love fake dating. So at the point that I'm at, like they've kind of made the deal for this to happen, and I'm just really excited to see how that all plays out. It's also really fun because Indy is a romance reader. She reads romance books. She has a bunch of books that she puts on his bookshelf that have like naked men on the cover, and she is like very aware of all of these different tropes. So when they make this deal for the fake dating situation, she's like, okay, but like we need to have a plan for when you fall in love with me. Like, how do you want me to handle that? Do you want me to lay you down easy? Like, what do we do? And he's like, that's not gonna happen. And she's like, it always happens, so what do we do? And it's just very funny that she's like, she's making the character and also the author is very aware of these tropes and is kind of like, not poking fun at it, but just like having fun with like discussing the tropes, but then also having it happen. And yeah, I don't know, I'm having a good time. I will say, like this book and Mile High, which is the first book in this series, I do find sometimes the writing to be a bit cringy. Sometimes the dialogue is just like, ooh, do people really talk like that? I don't know. Because that's another thing with Indy being a romance reader and just a big book reader. She, like when they're making this plan, she's like, okay, now you need to learn how to be like my book boyfriends. And I'm like, the idea of someone like out loud saying to another human being, like, you need to learn from my book boyfriends, that kind of makes me want to gag. Not that I don't have my own book boyfriends, you know, like it's fine, but like I don't know. It's just, to me, I'm just like, it's kind of cringe. It's just a little cringe. And to like say it out loud in dialogue to another human being, I'm just like, I don't know if I like that. It was a funny conversation though, because she was like, you need to start acting like them. And you know, like, do you know how to like darken your eyes? Do you know how to growl? And he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I don't know about the growling thing. They all just do it. So it was like a funny scene. It just was a little cringy to me, just a little bit. And I just kind of feel like sometimes the dialogue or sometimes the way the characters think, it can be a bit like, ooh, don't know how I feel about that. Not that what they're thinking or doing is bad, it's just like a little cringy to me. So I don't know, we'll see how the writing continues. It was like that with Mile High and I still like enjoyed that book. And I feel like this one I might like a little bit more just because I do feel like Mile High seemed a little too long for me. It just kind of felt like I would read so much and then I wouldn't be any farther into the book. Whereas this one, like I'm already 20% of the way in. I feel like it's reading very quickly. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Again, love fake dating. So excited to see how that all plays out. But I don't know, I'm liking it. I'm not loving it, but I kind of feel similarly to how I felt about Mile High. So I think I'll still end up enjoying it. But yeah, we'll see how much reading I can get done tonight because we do have Bruins. Speaking of sports, I will say that's another thing. This man playing like basketball, I don't care. I don't care about basketball. I don't really know anything about it. So when they're describing like the basketball moments, I'm like, it's just right over my head. At least with Mile High, he was a hockey player, so it was like still somewhat interesting for me to read about. Not so much basketball. Don't really care. But yeah, we do have Bruins playoffs tonight, game 2. So I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done because I'm probably gonna watch the game, but I might be able to read a little bit before and after that happens. But yeah, I think that that's all I really wanted to update you all on, and hopefully I can make some good progress in Mile High and not get too distracted by the Bruins. Well, friends, very exciting news. We are officially less than a month away from my Taylor Swift concert. It just doesn't seem real. I mean, it is starting to feel, I think, a little bit more real just because yesterday it was like officially like a month until the concert. And so I ordered the shirt that I've been planning on buying to wear to the concert. And I feel like that just made it like, it just seems like it's actually finally happening. I don't know. Like, I still can't believe it. And I'm probably not going to be able to believe it until it's like happening. And even then, Taylor Swift is going to be on the stage. I'm going to be staring at her and I'm still going to be like, this isn't real. But yeah, it's just really exciting. I'm so excited to get the shirt that I ordered and see it in person. And I'm not going to show what shirt I ordered or what it looks like because I think I'm going to do a whole vlog of like the prep for the concert and like getting ready and the actual like concert itself. So I'll save it for that. But very excited that I've ordered it and I'm excited to get it. And I'm just, the whole thing. I'm just so excited. Also, I think tomorrow we're gonna have some family over and my sister's gonna be here and we're going to the concert together and we want to make like the friendship bracelets that everyone's making. So we got like a whole bead spinner contraption thing to make it easier to put beads onto the string. It's kind of like silly how serious we're taking it. But I think maybe because she's going to be here tomorrow, we could maybe try and start working on some of the bracelets we're going to make. I'm very excited. I have so many ideas. I'm just, wow. It's gonna be so good. So yeah, if it's not obvious, I'm pretty pumped about this concert. Just a little bit. And you know, we're less than a month away. So if I'm just losing it for the next month, that's why. But I did want to also give some reading updates. Also, like, side note, sorry that this vlog is probably not the most interesting. I feel like I haven't really been filming a lot, whether that's like chatting with you all or like filming b-roll. I just feel like I have reached the point in the month-long readathon and month-long vlogging where I'm like, I feel like I'm just doing the same things over and over again. I just feel like this is where like month-long readathons, it's a little bit rough because, you know, like first week, it's like there's that motivation, you're excited because it's just starting. And then week 2, it's like you've gotten into this routine and you're still reading and you're still motivated. And then, you know, the final couple of weeks, it's like, okay, now it's crunch time to finish everything. But like week 3, I just feel like it's just a week in the middle, but you've also been doing it for so long that you're like, okay, like what's going on now? So yeah, I feel like this is just where there's always a bit of a rough patch in month-long readathons and it's always week 3. And I also feel like this is the point when I'm vlogging and I'm like, wow, I'm just vlogging the same things over and over again. So sorry that this vlog probably has not been my best one, but hopefully we can improve it for the rest of the vlog or next week's vlog. But anyway, reading updates. Back to that. I am now on chapter 21, which is 49% of the way through The Right Move. So I'm like halfway and I feel like I'll be able to finish it this weekend because I feel like I was saying, like I really haven't been reading a lot this week, I feel like, and I'm still like already halfway through. So I think it's going quickly when I am picking it up. So I'm sure I will be able to finish that this weekend, but so far I'm enjoying it. I do feel like with Mile High, which was the first one in this series, I felt like I was constantly checking my progress. Like I was constantly looking at how like far into the book I was, the percentage of the way through, just because I feel like I would read so much of it and then I would only move like 2% through. Like it kind of felt like it was dragging a bit, and I feel like that's not really happening with this one. I don't really feel like I'm even looking at how far into the book I am. Like I'm just enjoying reading it and it doesn't feel like it's dragging in the same way. I mean, neither of these books really have that much of a plot. It's really about the characters and their relationships developing, but this one, I don't know, I just think I'm enjoying it a little bit more. Plus, this man built her a bookshelf. I know that that's like the bare minimum, but to me, that's peak romance. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Again, it has fake dating and I feel like the fake dating part has been going pretty well. I feel like it's always fun when you see characters who are fake dating and then they're starting to question whether all of these things are fake, and it's like the lines are getting blurred and they're starting to get unsure of how the other's feeling, and it's just really fun to read, so I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I'm hoping I can finish that up this weekend in between spending time with family, making friendship bracelets, also watching the Bruins because they have another game on tonight. So yeah, hopefully we can get that done in between all of those things. Alright friends, it's come time for me to end this, I think, rather underwhelming vlog. Like I was saying again, I apologize if this vlog was not as interesting as maybe some of my other vlogs. I mean, my vlogs are never that interesting, but I do feel like this one, there was just a lack of me filming things, and also like this past week, I was also really struggling with allergies, and I still am, and just like my throat has been hurting like all this past week, so I just really didn't want to talk unless I had to, so that I think also influenced my filming and wanting to vlog and everything. But we have come to the end of week 3, and I'm going to wrap up this vlog so I can start on week 4, the final week of the Magical Readathon, start on that vlog. But I did want to quickly update one last time on my progress, because I did finish The Right Move by Liz Tomford, which I'm counting for the Psionics and Divination class. So the 4th prompt is now complete, and unfortunately I ended up not loving this one as much as I thought I was going to, and how I was kind of feeling in the first half. I thought that I was going to like this just as much, if not more, than Mile High, the first book in this series, but I ended up giving this one 3 stars. I will say there were still things I did enjoy about this book. I really liked the way Ryan and Indy's relationship developed and everything, and I was still rooting for them, which is like arguably the most important thing when it comes to a romance. And I feel like this book gave me what I wanted more from in The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armis. I loved the moments of them together in the apartment, them being roommates, them starting to learn more about each other, and like having breakfast together and just learning certain things about each other by being roommates and living together, and how that like influenced their relationship. I don't know, I just really liked them actually like living together and being roommates, and that whole dynamic. I really loved those scenes, and that's what I like wanted more of in The American Roommate Experiment. And that also like played a role into like the fake dating thing as well, because you know, they were in this apartment by themselves, and they would still have these moments where there was clearly like an interest in each other that they had, and it's like, but who are they pretending in front of when they are alone in their apartment? So it was kind of like that fun dynamic, and what made the fake dating part of it so fun. I will say one of my things that I didn't necessarily love, but it's not like, it's probably more so my bad, is that I went into this book expecting the fake dating thing to play more of a role, and it really didn't. Like, there were a few scenes where they had to pretend to be together, but it wasn't really as big of a part of this book as I was expecting it to be, so that's probably on me, but I just wish that there was a little bit more of that, a little bit more of the fake dating aspect. So yeah, there were definitely things I liked about it. I liked the fake dating aspect. I loved the fact that they were roommates, and how that influenced them getting to know each other, and how that like influenced their actual like feelings for each other and their relationship. But there were just a few things that just did not work for me and influenced me giving this 3 stars. I do feel like the writing was probably one of the biggest things for me. I was kind of saying before, like some scenes were very cringy or just like cheesy, and I feel like Mile High was like that too, but it was like significantly more noticeable in this book. And that's more of like a personal preference. Like some people might not mind the writing, but that was just like a personal thing. I also didn't love how many times she had Indy describe Ryan's eyes as ocean eyes. Like, it was kind of absurd how many times that was said. I think I like searched in my Kindle ocean eyes to see how many times it popped up, and it said it came up 18 times, but I feel like it missed some. Because there was one chapter where it happened like 4 or 5 times where she described his eyes as ocean eyes, and it was driving me nuts. And also, kind of like I was saying before too, like the whole like book boyfriend cringy, but like it was kind of funny thing, that should have been like more of a red flag for me, that was going to be something that was more prevalent throughout the whole book. And like him building her a bookshelf, that was just one of the few things that I feel like the author included to make him seem like the ultimate book boyfriend. I feel like there were things that this author was like, okay, Indy is a romance reader. If you're reading this book, you're also a romance reader. So like, what's gonna make the girlies go crazy over this man? And just like made a checklist and basically just like checked things off when she wrote it into the book. Like there was a scene where he picked up one of Indy's romance books and Ryan was like, oh my God, this is like a manual for men on how to be in relationships. Why aren't men reading romance books more? And it's like, I don't disagree, but it's also like, she knew that I wouldn't disagree. Like it was very clear she was trying to appease her audience and appeal to her audience. And I get you have to do that to an extent, but it just felt a little forced. It didn't feel super authentic. I feel like there were other things that Ryan did as a boyfriend, or like even as someone that wasn't her boyfriend yet and was just trying to show that he was interested in her. There were a lot of other things that weren't like typical book boyfriend stuff that he did that I liked more than like him saying, you know, men should read romance books. Like, yeah, of course I agree, but it just felt like it was very clear that she was trying to appeal to the readers. I don't know. It just felt a little forced. Also, there was another thing where we kind of, you know, we see that Ryan and Indy had these relationships before in the past that have influenced their lives and like has affected them. And Ryan definitely has some traumatic events from his past and a past relationship that kind of affects him going forward. You know, him not wanting to trust people and not wanting to be in relationships and just assuming anyone who wants to get to know him is going to use him because he's famous, he has a lot of money. And there's a moment where he's like opening up to Indy and explaining his past and why he is the way that he is. He's giving an explanation as to what happened to him to make him this way. And I didn't love the way Indy like first kind of initially reacted. It wasn't even like towards him necessarily. I mean, it kind of was, but like her inner monologue was basically just like, how does this affect me? Like she was very much making what he was saying and his trauma and his insecurities about her and how he views her because of that. And it's like, he's opening up about his trauma to you. Like, it's not about you. He's trying to open up and share with you what is going on. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was weird that she quickly was like, oh, but like, how does this affect me? And she like treated him fine after that, but it was just like a weird first reaction. I feel like it was just a weird moment in her inner monologue to hear her be like, okay, but like, how does this affect me? Like, it's not about you. And that was kind of another thing. The more I'm talking about this, the more it seems like I really didn't like this. I swear I did enjoy this when I was reading it, but it did kind of feel like they both had issues. They both had things that they were struggling with that affected their relationship with one another. But I kind of felt like Ryan was the only one that when he would react or act out would have to be held accountable. But Indy wasn't perfect either, and she did and said things that weren't great, but she was never held to the same standard as he was, and he was the one that always had to apologize. And I don't know, I just thought it was kind of weird. So yeah, there were a few things that just didn't really work for me with this book. I still enjoyed it. Like I said, I was still rooting for them. I still thought there were a lot of really great moments, a lot of really like swoony and fun moments with the romance, and like I was rooting for them. It just, there were a few things I just didn't really love how it was handled, or just like certain decisions that she made with the plot I thought were a little funny or whatever it may be. It just, I don't know, it didn't always work for me. And the writing itself I found just overall was not necessarily my favorite, and I feel like I noticed it in Mile High, but this book it became very apparent that the writing is just not necessarily my fave. So I was enjoying this book when I was reading it. That was another thing though, is I just never felt like really excited to pick this book up. I was enjoying it when I would pick it up. I just never felt super motivated and excited to get back into it. And even though I said with Mile High, that book felt like it was a little too long and it dragged a little bit, I actually read that book faster than I read this one. And this one, it was shorter than Mile High. So I don't know, it just really kind of went downhill in the second half for me. I still liked it. I still, again, liked the relationship and was rooting for them, but there were just a few things that just didn't really work for me. So we'll see if I continue on with the series. I will say, I think book 3 is following a guy, I don't remember his name, but he was like introduced in this book, and he is a baseball player, he's a single dad, and he needs to hire a nanny to like go on his away games with him and watch over his kid. And I'm like, she's gonna get me again, and I'm gonna end up reading this. And then also I thought I saw somewhere that one of the side characters that's been in both Mile High and The Right Move, his character's name is Rio, and he might be getting his own book, and that might be the 4th book, and I want to read that. So I'm like, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how things continue on, because I've had such a mixed experience with these first 2 books, so we'll see. But yeah, this one was definitely a bit disappointing. I was expecting to really love it, and I still like 3 stars is not a bad rating. I just was expecting to give it like at least a 4 or a 5, and I feel like everyone likes this more than Mile High, so I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's fine. I read it though. And that's another prompt done for the magical readathon, so still a win. But yeah, that was the 4th prompt done for the Star Whisperer career. We have 4 done, one more to go, and that will be what I am trying to complete in the last vlog, in the last week of the readathon. I can't believe that this month is already over. I feel like this month has gone by so fast. But as always, if you're participating in the readathon, definitely let me know how it's going for you. At this point, when this vlog goes up, we're gonna be, you know, in the last like few days of the readathon. So let me know how your progress is going. If you have any books that you're trying to cram in to finish, because I feel like that will be me. But I would love to know how the magical readathon is going for you all. But that is going to be it for my week 3 vlog for the magical readathon. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.